Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining me for another Tai Chi and Qigong special health focus. Today, we're continuing with our Chen style practice, and we're going to hark back a little bit to our silk reeling, as I'm just back from intensive training with uh, Master Chen Yin Jun, and I got a lot out of the silk reeling. So I'd like to share a little bit of that with you now, and then after I have practiced some of the other deeper practices, then I'll try and share them with you too. And then we'll go back to our form and continue on our way. So let's come into our space, please. I just kick the cat's toys out of the way. And we'll take right hand in a fist, left hand straight, tuck back that thumb, bringing the feet together, bringing the hands together, and we salute. Lovely. Okay, so let's open our stance and we begin our warm up. So this is our little seesaw exercise. And what I noticed with the master, his movements are more subtle. And this is typical of what you see when you train with masters, that the movement is necessarily more subtle. It's smaller, it's more internal. And often when I'm teaching, I'm maybe even subconsciously, over egging it in order to be clear, but actually it needs to be quite subtle. So you can see I'm going into the four corners, and there is this rocking forwards and back of the body, but you see how little it is. I'm not doing a big seesaw. It's really quite small. So that means that it's gentler on your system, but also with subtlety comes fine tuning. So you're getting more nuances when you go smaller. I want you to listen and feel into your system. And again, I'd like you please to practice this every day, at least 30 times in each direction. And that's just a staging post. That's just where we're starting from. I'd actually like you to go on to at least 60 in each direction, if not 100 in each direction, because you will notice that it changes in quality. It becomes more effortless, more natural, and your muscles are getting stronger. Even though it's a subtle wee movement, it is a holistic movement. Your whole body is actually going to strengthen because all the muscles are being affected, all the joints and all the structures are being affected. But for now, let's change direction. Again, keep it subtle, feeding into the four corners of the hips, and just this ever so slight rocking of the upper body, counteracting the lower body. Breathe. Keep your structure. Good. And just notice, stay with your body as you move, as you breathe. It's not even checking in. You keep your mind with your body throughout. Keep your mind with your breath. So you're breathing into the movement. And with each stage of the movement, your awareness is there, giving you instant feedback. So you'll notice, is it getting easier? Is it getting smoother? Is it getting more difficult? Good. All right, for now, we're going to move on to movement 2. Similar idea, but look how different. This is now that you're feeding into the four corners of the hips while maintaining an upright posture. You're not isolating the hip movement like this. You're actually moving center, which moves the whole body. So really rather like your chess piece, and you're moving around the four corners of your little square. The whole body moves as one. And again, what I noticed with the master is it's very subtle. I think I had been kind of letting my bottom go back quite a bit. But if I show you from the side, you're really keeping your bottom underneath you. So you're just describing the size and shape of your hips, as opposed to sticking your bum out like that. See what I mean? I'm exaggerating. So just stay underneath, keep your body underneath, or your tail underneath you, and feel into the four corners of your feet. Again, if you can do 30 of these every day, you will notice a difference. Even with that, you'll feel more strength, more structure, and it's calming. It is designed to be like a lullaby for your body, for your mind. Good. So how do you do this small movement? Well, you give it a very gentle input. You don't push a lot of energy into it, because then you'd need to put the brakes on to keep it small. Instead, you only give it a little bit of fuel. You only give it a little bit of a nudge, and then it's relatively effortless. Good. You may notice your core muscles rippling a little bit, because they are working. Good, let's change direction, please. And you could do any of these exercises 500 times in each direction. That's what our Grandmaster said to us, oh, good 15 years ago. He said, yeah, that's what you're working towards. But we have to be practical with our energy levels and just build up from where we are. So, if you're not used to doing it, then do 30 in each direction. If you do 30 every day for a week, happy days, you've graduated to 60 in each direction. And then after a week of 60, you can do 100 in each direction. After a week of that, you can maybe do 100 every day, twice a day in each direction. And before you know it, you've got 500, and it feels effortless, it feels relaxing, it feels comfortable, it feels safe. So never try to leapfrog to high capacity, because just like any practice, we need to build it up. Excellent. Okay, let's come back to center, feed the weight into one foot, and we're just going to send a little spiral down the leg. We're not going to spend ages on warm-up today. And change direction. The warm-up is a really good practice in itself. A lot of people, they study Tai Chi and they go, I love it, but I can't remember all those complex movements. You don't need to. If you do warm-up, you're covered. You'll have good health stimulation. Let's shake out on the other side. Circle one way. And circle the other way. Good, and a little shake out. Okay, let's go wider, and we sit down a little bit, and we're just circling one hip out, forwards, in and back, out, forwards, in and back. Think of one hip in isolation is doing that rotation. But of course, the other hip responds and moves as well, but to get the movement, just focus on that one hip. This is for leg strength. It's very useful. I would recommend, again, doing a little bit and then change direction. So especially if you have a condition, if you have fatigue, chronic fatigue, anything like that, the strengthening exercises are necessarily going to be quite energy rich. They're going to take energy, but they will give you energy. But just do a little bit. Even a little bit is definitely something. Good. All right, let's come up. Well done. So we're going to just do the little Chen turning of the waist. Very soft, very gentle. And think of running your hands through water. So there's just that little bit of resistance in the palms. Remember that we're turning inside the hips, so the hips remain pointing forwards and the waist turns. So yesterday in class, in my MS association class, I was talking about the importance of movement for health, for general health. And one of the questions that came up was, well, what about those days when I'm absolutely shot, that I just don't have any energy and I just want to absolutely lie still? And yeah, of course, you know, on those days, getting up and going for a walk or doing a Tai Chi class is going to be too much. But a little movement is still possible. Then we have to reassess what is movement. So wiggling your fingers is movement. Wiggling your toes is movement. Rolling over in bed is movement. You know, stretching out your arms, it all adds up. So rather than lying absolutely still for hours at a time, you can do little movements. Let's come back to center. And if all else fails, you can move your mind. So you can do a little journey of your body with your mind. And I know what it's like to feel that kind of exhaustion. Unfortunately, I think maybe not everybody does. So even moving your mind may be exhausting at times. It may be too much. So you can just spend a little time, maybe 5 minutes, 2 minutes, just feeling into your feet, and then go back to sleep or go back to letting go into nothingness. And then maybe later on, you can spend a few minutes feeling into your knees, just having a little explore. How do my knees feel? And just feeling into the four corners of your knees. And, you know, sporadically through the day when you have time, just bring your awareness to different body parts. That in itself moves the energy. So you don't have to think, I must move my energy to my elbow. No, you don't have to do that. Just feeling into your elbow and your energy has gone there. So if you take time during the day to feel into different body parts, you are in effect helping the energy to move through those body parts. Where the mind goes, the energy follows. And where the energy goes, your strength follows. So even just taking a moment to wash your awareness down through your body, you have actually influenced and shifted your energy. Okay, so we're going to have a little look at our silk reeling one, the first of the silk reeling exercises. And today, rather than focusing on the movement, we're going to focus on 4 strategic postures within the sequence. And this is like sentinels, that if we can get this pose, and if we can get that pose, and that pose, and that pose, it gives us more chance to move between them and get the full movement. So we're going to start with our feet together, and we're going to lengthen up through the top of the head. Bring the chin slightly down and back, and release, relax down through the body. We can wash from the top of our head, gently feel your way down over the structures of your body, all the way down the legs, into the feet, and into the floor. And let your toes spread. Let your weight spread evenly across your feet, and relax down into the earth. Calm down and listen behind. Good. Now we are going to bring one hand to waist. Now normally in class we take the right hand to waist and the left hand works first. I don't know whether you're good at mirroring or not. I'm just going to do it the normal way. You can follow me, you can mirror, it doesn't matter all that much. So we're going to release through belly, hips, and knees. And you take one hand to waist. So I'm taking my right hand to waist and extend the left hand forwards, palm facing up. Look to your side. So the same side as the hand is extending, that's the foot that's stepping. And we're going to step out to the side and make sure that the feet are level, that they're parallel if possible. So this is the first position, and we're just going to sit in this position for a moment. First of all, let's try to make sure that the body is upright. I have a tendency to kind of do this, I'm exaggerating, but you see this kind of shoulder up. So we want to relax the shoulder. The non-working hand is not collapsed, but neither is it rigid. It wants to sort of sit comfortably, but relax that shoulder down. Don't let the shoulder creep up. So the hand extending forwards. Can you see, if you imagine drawing a line down my center, my fingertips are touching that center line. And I have space under my arm, so it's not close to my body. There's a little space. The arm is extending forwards because if it was back towards the body, everything goes pointy. Do you see my elbow sticking out? Let's do it wrong so you feel the difference. Bring your hand in towards your body. Do you feel that sticky point at the elbow? If the hand is too close to the body, then the energy can't flow easily. Everything feels uncomfortable, including the non-working side. So extend the arm a little bit forwards, and you can see how that arm, feel how that arm now turns into a curve. And we want the palm fully faced up. So that's your first position that you can just sit in, breathe into and relax, and see if you can learn through holding the position nice and softly that this is the place we want to go to. Good, okay. So our next movement, we turn, and we're turning the palm over. So if I show you from the side, my arm is flat, my forearm is flat on the horizontal, and my weight is on my right. So the side that you're turning to, that has the weight on it. Okay, so the palm is facing down. So see if you can check your posture, lengthen up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back, and relax into that posture. Good. Now, if it hurts, don't do it. Yeah, so I don't want you to be forcing your system, but see if you can hold it just for a few seconds. And now feed the weight across. So we're feeding between the two legs, and then keep going, and we're feeding the arm across. We're feeding the arm, shoulder, elbow, hands, fingertips, and the palm is facing out, and the hand is above your foot. So when I see people learning this, they tend to go out there somewhere. It's like, oh yeah, it's over there. No, your hand is above your foot, and the palm is fully twisted to face out. The thumb edge is underneath. Again, check your relaxed side, your non-working side, and see if you can feel a fullness in your whole body. That's a tough one, isn't it? Okay, release, turning inside your hip, relax your arm down, let it roll over, and sit with the palm. It's facing forwards, but slightly turned up. And the feeling that we want to get here is a fullness in the waist. So the arm is feeding the energy into your waist. So at this stage, we are turned. The center line is turned a little to the diagonal. Very good. And now feed across between the two legs. Keep feeding across, squaring up, and we return to the initial position. Good. Now it's hard work, isn't it? Holding positions is much harder than moving. So let's now move between those 4 positions. So we start palm facing up completely, arm extending forwards, and we turn. Palm is facing down, we feet across. Palm is facing out and release. Palm is facing forwards, slightly up. Feet across, square up. Palm is facing up. Try it again. Turn inside the hip. Palm is facing down. Feet across. Squaring up. Palm is facing out. Release. Turn. Relax the arm down. Palm is facing forwards, slightly up. Feet the weight across. Palm is facing up. Try again. Turn inside the hip. Palm is facing down. Feet across. Into your other side. Palm is facing out. Release. Relax. Turning the palm as it sinks. Palm is facing forwards, slightly up. Feet across. One more time. Turn. Facing down. Facing out. Facing forward, slightly up. Facing up. Now try to just move with me. Good, now let's change arms. Palm is facing out. Hold it there for a moment, relax the shoulders. Make sure the non-working side stays relaxed. Keep upright and release. Turn inside the hip. Relax the hands down, the palm is facing forward, slightly up. Feel a fullness in the waist. And now glide across, squaring up. Palm is forwards, make sure there's space underneath the arm. Make sure you're not too close to the body, extend forwards. And turn, palms facing down. Bar across. Feet across, shoulder, elbow, hands, fingertips. Hand above foot, turn. Palms facing forward, slightly up. And feet across. Palms facing up. Turn. Palms facing down. Feet across, shoulder, elbow, hands, fingertips. Hand above foot, release inside the hip. Palms facing forward, slightly up. And feet across. Now let's do it in movement. So the 4 points that we've just looked at are not sticking points. They're not where we stop, but they're positions that we move through. Eventually, we want the movement to be absolutely smooth and just feed from one into the next with no discernible pause. But it's good to get those posts in place, those positions that we want to move through. Good, and on our next move, we're going to step in and relax. Well done. Good, and I can see some of you are being very wise, and if it's too much or if you've had enough, you stop, and that's exactly what you should do. So you can actually learn a lot from watching. At the weekend there, I was asking my master for the positions, and he would put me in a position and then I would sit there until I couldn't take it anymore. So literally I might be there for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, just holding the position to memorize it, to try to internalize it, to remember it. The way I see it, Tai Chi postures, when we're holding a posture, it's rather like putting jelly into a mold. So the longer we can hold the posture, if we're holding it correctly and well and relaxing into it, we are creating a body memory that is more likely to hold. Just like jelly, the longer it is in the mold, the more likely it will be to remember the shape that it's being poured into. So if you just hold it for a couple of seconds, it's not going to have much effect on the body memory. But if you hold it for 10 minutes, you're going to remember that feeling, or at least you have a good chance of doing so. So a little moment, you can have a wee sip of water. I'm going to grab a tissue here, and then we will go into our form. But are there any questions, folks, about what we've just done? No? Okay, good. So I find the postures really very useful. And it's not that I hadn't heard of it before, and it's not that I hadn't done it before, but somehow this weekend it just took it to another level, which was excellent. As I say, there's another aspect that I'm working on the silk railing, but I'm not going to share it with you yet until I have more fully processed it and integrated it myself. So on to the form now, folks. So we've started our form. If you watch me, please, I'll just give you a little visual reminder. So again, I'm not mirroring. This is Laoja Ilu, Chen style. I think that's as far as we have gone. So let's go through that a few times today, and then we'll look at our next move. Oh, maybe we did look at the next move. Lazily tying the knot. That rings a bell, did we? See if you recognize it. Press one up, one down. I think we did, didn't we? Yeah. Okay. So Lanzai, lazily tying the knot. Yes, so let us go through that much a few times, and then we'll maybe think about the next move. Okay, so I'm going to do the back view with you. I'm not mirroring. So just see if you can follow. A useful technique when you're following someone with the back view is think of x-raying through their body and looking at what their hands are doing. So there are definite tells So if you can't see the hand, look at the position of the arm. But if you're not sure, don't worry. If you get the footwork, the leg work, the body position, the arm positions, that's all good. And then if you can't see what the hands are doing, then ask me. but you know, you'll get the majority of the moves anyway. So let's give it a go, please. Okay. So we start with our feet together. Just try and come as close as I can. A little bit more to the right of your space. And we lengthen up through the top of the head. The chin slightly down and back. And we want to begin with letting go of tension. Gently pointing the fingers down towards the floor. Calming down. And listening behind. We release through belly, hips, and knees, filling the right, emptying the left, step open with the toe, relax the foot down and shift your weight into center. Now we breathe in and we float up and feel to the fingertips, and breathe out, release belly, hips, and knees, drawing the arms, drawing the hands back down to belly height. A little release to the right, to turn to the left, and the right palm turns to face in. This is your little T-shaped position. Ward off. We release to the left, little turn to the left, let the arms rotate, lift your right toes and pivot on the heel. And there the hands have flipped, so now the left palm is facing in. Relax your foot down, feed underneath to come forwards, and bring your left foot in. Glance at the floor and step. Release towards your right, relax the arms down. Notice that same position we've just covered in silk railing, where you're feeding the waist, feeding the energy into the waist. And now we feed the weight forwards, expanding the arms. There's your shield position, keep expanding, and turn, bring the right side in. Right hand curls into a fist, raise the fist, the left palm turns to face up, place the back of the fist into the palm, and lift and stamp. Good. Now Lanzai. Turn a little to the left, right hand up, left hand palm faces down. Turn center to turn the hands and keep turning, gathering in the right. Glance to the floor and step. And now turning to the left hand comes against the body, and we expand as we shift the weight across. So opening the shoulders, then the elbows, then the hands, then the fingertips, hand above foot, and relax onto the waist. So that's Lanzai. Good, and rest. Okay, let's do it again. Okay. So we start with our feet together, lengthening up, relaxing down. Calming down. Even if you're watching, go through the stages of calming your system. Ready, we release. Open to the left, into center. Breathe in, feel to fingertips, breathe out, release, relax to belly. And left. And right. Feed forwards and step. Release to the right. Expand. And come through. Up, down, fist into hand. Up, down. A little release to the left, right hand up, left hand down. Turn to the right, circle the arms, and gather in. Look and step. Release to the left, left hand to body. Feed across, opening, filling both sides, and relax to waist. When we relax the heels of the hands down, that's inviting your energy back to your center. Well done. And rest. Again, please. Okay. Ready? Open. Notice we finish with the hand above foot, the elbow above knee, the shoulder above hip. So if the hand is too far out, you'll feel out of balance. If the hand is too far in, you'll feel out of balance. Good. Okay. One more time, and then I'll open it to questions. If there's anything that you can't see, that you're not sure of, but doesn't seem to work, let me know. We'll cover that. And then if you feel up to it, we'll do the next step. Okay, are we ready? Okay, folks, so are there any questions? Is there any place where you're just not sure that you'd like clarification? No? No, good. So a question that came up, or a comment that came up a couple of weeks ago, was just repetition is good, repetition is key, and it absolutely is. So we've been doing a little bit of repetition. The question is, would you like, and I want to see clear thumbs up or thumbs down, would you like to see the next step? Yes, okay, good. Thank you for the thumbs up. All right, okay, so after Lanzai, we have apparent close up. And there's always this kind of conversation in our Tai Chi practice that if we want to go one way, first we go the other way. There's always this little bit of contrariness. And the reason for that is basically because it adds balance. But also, if we want to go one way, if we go the other way first, it acts like a lasso and it builds momentum and it allows the energy to flow. Whereas if we just go the way we want to go, it can be a bit clunky and it's kind of asking our vehicle to go from 0 to 60 with nothing in between. So there's a lot of this. You'll see there's these little kind of releases and curly movements. And if you look at Shinja, which I don't really practice, Shinja means the new style or new frame. There's a lot more curls involved. So Laoja is more basic, but it's the foundation. So you don't do Shinja, you don't do the new style until you have done the old style. So watch me, please. I'm going to show you the front view of our next move. And again, I'm not mirroring it. I'm just going to do it. And then we'll do it together. So we have done the Lanzai. Let me see. So from here. Okay, so our hand on the hip is going to gather the hand that is acting. So we go into ward off position again, that same T-shaped position that we're becoming already so familiar with. We release the hand, and you can even do a little movement to the left to release the hand to then go right. Do you see what I mean? You never just go, there's always the opportunity to go the other way first. So we go into ward off position and then we roll back. So we feed the weight back and let the hands roll, palm facing down, and keep turning the waist. And the hands just rotate through the socket of the shoulders and up into this preparation position. So one hand is level with in front of the armpit, and the other hand is coming towards the ear, and we feed the weight across. We screw into the leg that we're going into, and that brings the arms and the legs in, and we fill the hands and we fill the small of the back here at the same time. So this is rather like you are bracing yourself in a small space. Now you can see there's a slight curve in my back there, can't you? But as I fill my hands forwards, the small of my back fills, so my back is practically straight. Now, your back may have more of a curve than mine, that's fine, but you want to think of filling the back as you fill the hands forwards. So like a balloon expanding both forwards and backwards, and that brings balance. Not only does it bring balance, but it helps, it's a little massage for your spine, and it's helping the energy to flow more easily. The small of the back is considered vital to work on, to release, to relax in order for energy to flow. So much so that the small of the back, the pressure point there, right in at the smallest part of your waist, is called the Mingmen, which means the life door. So it's considered such a crucial point in the body that it's called the life door. So if you have a big scoop in your back like this, then that they would say that your life door is closed, is more closed. So when we're doing our Tai Chi, we really want to, if we're expanding forward, we want to think of the back expanding back a little bit. And by doing that, you're helping to release any pressure that's built up by that nip in the back. So watch me again, please. From Lanzai, I release and gather, ward off, roll back, turning the palms, feed into the right, turn into the right, bring the left side in, fill the back. So I'm pressing to the corner, but if you were my corner, this is what it looks like. So my hands are in this triangle position, and I'm on the tip of my toe. If you can't do that, you can go onto the balls of your toe, and we want to try to keep the hips level rather than this. Yeah, I'm still working on that. So fill your hands forwards, fill the small of your back. Okay, let's try it together. So as you turn your waist, your arms will necessarily want to turn. Maybe just as a little training exercise, we can do that. So if I come closer to you, just bring your arms out and just turn your waist and turn your waist. And we're drawing a circle. And your palms are almost always facing out as you do this. It's rather like you're dragging your hands through water. Yeah, so the fingers being the least substantial, they get dragged behind. So the shoulder goes first, then the elbow, then the wrist, then the hand, and the poor wee fingers, they get trailed behind. That's the nature of the movement. And as you turn your waist and you raise and lower the arms will roll. Let them roll. Let it be organic. Let it feel comfortable. Let them roll. So if you just think of keeping your palms facing out and trailing the fingers, you'll get the feeling of that move. Okay, so let us do it. I'm actually tempted to be close to you like this. You won't be able to see my feet, but the feet step parallel. So I just want you to see the movement of the body and the arms. So I'll do it close to you now, and then I'll go a wee bit further away, and you can copy me like that as well. Okay, so let's go from Lanzai. Can you see me? Yes, okay. So we have lazily tied the knot. Our weight is more in the right, and we ward off. So we can do a little release. Left palm facing in, T-shaped position. And we release and we turn, feed across to the left and turn. Roll the hands over, feed into the right, drawing the hands in, turning into the right, and that draws the left side in. Now fill your hands forwards and fill your waist back. Good, let's do that again. Ready? So, ward off, T-shaped position, roll back. Let the arms roll over, lift, feed into the right, screw into the right, and the left side comes in, fill your back. Good. Now I'm going to go a wee bit further away so that you can see the whole body doing it, and let's do it again. Now, later on, you'll have a good idea where you're going. And if you picture the end position in your mind, you'll find it easier to arrive in that position. But you have to start somewhere. So just follow, relax, breathe. If something hurts, adjust. Don't put up with pain. Are we ready? So from Lanzai, leave it back. Okay, here we are. Weight right. And gather. Roll back. Turn the palms. Feed into the right. Screw into the right. Fill your hands, fill your waist. Good. And that is called apparent close-up. Okay, so the Chinese, if you're interested, the Chinese name for apparent close-up is Liu Feng Sibi. Liu Feng Sibi, which means 6 closing 4 sealing. And you might think, what? What are the six? What are the four? Well, it's referring to the orifices. Is that the right plural? Orifices of the body. So it is, in effect, it is closing the exits and entrances of the body. So the 6 and the 4 refer to the eyes counts as 1, the ears counts as 2, the nose counts as 3, and the mouth counts as 4. So there's the 4. And the 6 is the same again, but with the front and back exits of the body. So there you have 6. So the idea is that you're sealing in your good energy. You're creating a kind of watertight, not literally, but a watertight vessel for your energy to build inside. So otherwise, if we don't do Lo Feng Shui, we can be a bit like a leaky bucket. So we're generating energy, but we're just dispersing it. So it is a conscious moment of, I'm sealing in my good energy. And interestingly, in this form, we regularly do Lo Feng Shui. We regularly do apparent close-up. So it's like cooking and then bagging the food as we go, as opposed to doing a big cook and then having to do lots and lots and lots of bagging. So it is a way to contain our energy. It is a way to protect our energy from leaking, from just dissipating out. It's also useful in times when you're going into an environment maybe that you're not particularly comfortable with, like the dentist, or I don't know, some social visit that you're uncomfortable with. So you can do Lo Feng Shui even in your mind. You just think, I'm closing, take a breath, I'm closing, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, everything. I'm sealing in my good energy. So I'm not going to be influenced unduly by the energy around me, and I'm not going to wind down energetically in this environment. So it has a lot to it. So let's try it together, shall we? So we go into into lazily tying the knot. So ward off, roll back, turn the hands, feed into the right, drawing in, screw into the right, and the left side comes in, fill your back, fill your hands, try to keep your hips level, and rest. And again, please. So this time, as you press your hands forwards and you fill your back, think of yourself as contained in your own little cocoon of energy. Think of closing your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, the exits underneath. Everything is sealed, just for a moment, containing your good energy. Ready? And think, close, and rest. Well done. Lovely. Okay, we're going to do it one more time, and then we'll go from the beginning to there. Ready? And good. Okay, so now we go from the beginning. So what have we done? Open, raising the water. Jinggang exits the temple. Jinggang pummels the mortar. Buddha's warrior attendant pummels the mortar, lazily tying the knot. And what we've just done, 6-4 close-up or apparent close-up. So you have done 6 moves. That's really good. Okay, let's do it from the beginning. And up, down, up, down. Pierce, turn, step. Lazily tying the knot. Apparent close up. Fill your back, think close, and close. Good. Okay, so I'd like to show you it one more time from front view, so you can relax, come and sit down and watch, just and see if you can pick up any little nuances, what the hands are doing maybe when you can't see. So. Back a little bit. So that is our first 6 moves of the form. Folks, I hope you have enjoyed today's practice. As I say, holding positions can be very useful, but we have to temper that with our capacity on the day. So even just holding something for a couple of seconds, trying to get it the position that we're looking for, that can be very, very useful. If you can hold it a little longer, that's great. But just getting those little posts, as I say, those positions of reference can really help with the flow. So I hope you enjoyed your practice today, folks. We'll finish off there with right hand in fist, left hand straight, pull back the thumb, feet together, hands together, and we salute. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.